Do you think someone should tell her her aura's shown? Hey, and welcome to Makin FX. In the movie Captain Marvel, when she powers up, there's these cool energy flames coming off Carol Danvers, and I assume the way you do that is to create a 3D digital double, and use that to drive simulations of particles.
And we could actually build a physical CG model or a CG model of her that then matched her real model, her real body. And then we started with simulations and sort of keyframe art over the top of Brie. And then we started working on simulations and many layers and many months of work.
Okay, so not something you can rattle off in a 10-minute tutorial. But then watching Netflix's Sandman series, Rose gives off a similar-ish energy. And there's a lot of 3D work in Sandman, so my guess is it was a similar process. But does it have to be? Obviously not, otherwise I wouldn't have made a tutorial. Here's a shot from a YouTube short called Sidekicked. It's a pretty funny short I did the VFX for a few years back. And Jeff Smith kindly lets me reuse any footage for these tutorials. So the first thing I'm going to do is to use the Rotobrush to isolate our witch character. To do that, select the Rotobrush tool and double click on the layer to open it in its own window. And then left click to roughly draw around the figure. When you let go, you'll see that Rotobrush snaps to our outline, more or less. To remove any bits we don't want, hold down the Alt key so the indicator turns red and draw through those problem areas. Then hit 0 on the number pad to preview what we've got. If the outline jumps at any point, just stop the preview and correct it. This might take a little effort, and sometimes it's easiest to delete the Rotobrush effect and start again. We don't have to worry too much about the cutout being perfect. When you've got something you're happy with, click the freeze button. Rotobrush runs again, this time locking in the cutout. When Rotobrush is finished, close the layer panel down to return to the comp view. And there, she's all cut out. Hold down Ctrl and tap D to duplicate the layer. On the bottom layer, delete the Rotobrush effect, and then hit Enter and rename the layer to Background. On the top layer, rename this to Figure or Roto or whatever you like, and turn off the audio. We don't want to double up that. Now go to Effect, Stylize, Find Edges, and check the Invert checkbox. We're going to use a vector blur soon, but I want to make sure the blur goes beyond the alpha cutout. So go to Effect, Channel, Solid Composite, and set the color to black. That fills in the frame. Next, let's add some colors. I chose to go to Effect, Generate, 4-color gradient, with its blending mode set to multiply. And I'll just make sure each color is somewhere close to our character. There we go. Now to add some distortion. I'm going to drive this using the turbulent noise effect. So first go to Layer, New, Solid. And name this Noise. Then go to Effect, Noise and Grain, Turbulent Noise. And set the type to Dynamic Twist. Up the contrast to 160 and the brightness to -25. Expand Transform and set the scale to 40. Then hold the Alt key and click on the stopwatch offset and type square brackets 0, time times -50, close square brackets. So the noise slowly moves up the screen. Now hold Alt and click on the evolution stopwatch and type time times 100. So it slowly changes. Turn off the noise layer. Then back on the roto layer, go to Effect, Blur and Sharpen, CC Vector Blur. Set the type to Direction Fading, the angle to 60, but hold the Alt and click on the angle offset, and in the expressions area type wiggle brackets 1, 60, close brackets. so once a second the angle will shift up to 60 degrees. Drop the revolutions to 0.5 and then set the vector map to our noise layer with effects and masks. Go to Effect, Color Correction, Levels, and drag the input white down to about midway. This brightens up these energy flame things. And set the layers transfer mode to screen. All this looks pretty good, but we can't see her face very well. And something about how Rotobrush works means that while you would think you could just use a mask directly, it doesn't work after Rotobrush is used. So what we'll do is duplicate the background layer and turn off the audio again, and name this to Face Mask, and solo it for the moment. Then, using the ellipse tool, draw a mask around her head. Then go to Window, Tracker. The tracker picks up the mask automatically and offers you face tracking outline, which is perfect for our needs. But if you wanted to add an effect to the eyes, then there's the detailed feature tracking available. And just set this going by clicking the play button. Depending how powerful your computer is and the length of the shot, I find I sometimes need to pause the tracker. This lets AE move the tracking data from your RAM to keyframes. And once AE is done, cool. Turn this layer off. Then on the Roto layer, go to Effect, Channel, Set Matte. Select the Face Mask layer and choose Masks in the second drop-down, and invert it. But this doesn't look great, so take the Set Matte effect and drag it up to be above the Find Edges effect. So now the face is cut out before the edge finding and vector blur. And there's nothing stopping you from feathering or shrinking the face mask if you need to. And you can keyframe color changes on the 4-color gradient, as if reflecting emotions. And basically, you can have lots of fun, safe in the knowledge that you can recreate an effect in less than 10 minutes that it took professional VFX artists months of time to develop. Like this other use for Rotobrush, Predator's thermal vision. That takes even less time.